How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the first What's Up With of 2017. I'm your host, Andrew Cogswell, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch. Now, earlier this month, Nintendo did a press conference and told us what the Switch is all about. It was first revealed back in October with a little teaser trailer, and we got a first look at it, and it seemed really cool, and people were really excited. And then Nintendo does this big, long hour press conference about what's going on with the Switch, like more specifics, price point, release date, what games are coming out for it at launch and in the near future. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get caught up in all the recent Switch news, including some stuff that's come out after the conference, so you guys don't have to hunt all over the internet for it. Now, arguably the biggest news that came out of the Switch conference was the release date and price point. It's a modest $299. Some are claiming this is a little expensive for what it is, and others are saying this is perfect. This is right where they want it. It's cheaper than their competitors launched with, so not bad. And it comes out on March 3rd, which is a Friday, which is typical of Nintendo because of worldwide releases. They usually do either Friday or Sunday launches. They've shied away from the Sunday launches in the recent years, but Friday makes sense for a global worldwide launch. Now, you may be asking, what is the Switch? And to respond to that, I would like to say, why have you not been watching Subtrending when we've been covering the Switch and, as it was known, the NX for almost a year now? So, figure it out. But for those of you who don't know, I'm going to tell you all about the Switch and what it is, what Nintendo is doing next. Now, the Switch is going to be Nintendo's next new console, replacing the lackluster Wii U, and honestly, in a way, getting rid of the 3DS. Reggie from Nintendo of America says that 3DS will still be supported after the Switch launch, and it's not a replacement. But Nintendo has a bad track record of saying, hey, this isn't going away, we're going to continue to support this, and as soon as the new system comes out, it being dropped, essentially. So I'm not going to hold my breath for the 3DS to still be supported when the Switch launches at the beginning of March. Now, you may be asking, why is this a replacement for both the Wii U and the 3DS? One is a handheld and one is a console. Yeah, that's true, but the Switch is going to do both. It is a console handheld hybrid. So, you're going to be able to take your Switch console out of a docking port that plugs the picture up onto the TV, and the entire Switch console is in this tablet-esque device that has a 6.2-inch screen, which is bigger than the Wii U's, so that's an improvement. But you're going to be able to take it on the go. The other big thing is Nintendo is moving back to cartridges, which are now cheaper to produce than they were when discs started coming around in the early PlayStation, or with the PlayStation 1. So this is going to make it so you don't have to worry about scratching game discs, and it's going to make portability a lot easier. The cartridges are very small, around between a 3DS and a PS Vita kind of cartridge size. So it's going to make transport really easy. And that's what Nintendo seems to be focusing on, is make it portable and make it easy. As far as internal storage, it is going to have 32 gigabytes internal storage, but this is increasable with SDXC cards, up to 2 terabytes. 2 terabyte cards do not exist yet, but it is possible. So you're going to be able to save some data on the Switch console at launch, but you're going to have to upgrade that memory, especially if games require install like they do for their competitors, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, where games installing can take up to 60, 75 gigs, depending on what the game is. So people have been asking Nintendo to do something with their consoles for forever, and that's to make it region-free. In the past, Nintendo consoles, they were not compatible. So, for example, if I had a North American Wii U, but I wanted to buy a Japanese-only game and a game that came out in Japan, I could not do that without buying a Japanese Wii U. It caused a lot of problems. It made fans really angry, especially Japanese, North American fans who wanted to play Japanese-only games on their Wii U. They had to buy an entirely different console. It was insane. So the Switch will be the first Nintendo console to be region-free, which is a huge deal. People are very excited about this, and once again, this kind of ties into mobility of things. Take your Switch on a intercontinental plane trip, and you want to buy a game there, you find it for cheap, sure, go ahead. You're going to be able to play it, which is great. Now, another thing announced at the conference, which was kind of out of left field, but also kind of expected, it was a weird mix of the two, was Nintendo is going to have a paid online service for online multiplayer. It will be free for the first few months into fall 2017, and then they're going to start charging for it. There is no price point as of recording, but what it entails you is to online play, which is par for the course for both PlayStation and Xbox, but also a free NES game and Super Nintendo game for free every month, with the NES or SNES games allowing you to do online multiplayer for certain games. Now that sounds great. Nintendo has a great, rich backlog and catalog of games, classic games that people want and love. So a free game on those systems every month? What's not to love? Well, the fact that you can download those games for that month, and then as soon as the month ends, you can no longer play them. You have to buy them. So it is essentially a 1 month unlimited demo. This was not made clear at the conference, but was cleared up later after the conference. People are not happy about this. Understandably, this is ridiculous. PlayStation and Xbox have been doing this, PlayStation specifically, for years. They've been allowing people to own games. Nintendo is notoriously stingy with their IP, though, so not super surprising, but super disappointing, because we were looking forward to a reformed Nintendo. And it looks like we're not getting it. The other thing that goes along with the online multiplayer is how parties and chat work. You're going to be able to do party chat and messaging and make game appointments with friends and have a friends list and stuff like that, like every other console ever. Not ever, but since online, you know what I mean. Anyway, but the big catch here with the Switch is that you have to use a smart device app that comes with your subscription in order to do voice chat. That means there is no native voice chat or messaging service in the Switch, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's 2017. There's no reason a console should not have this. So what they're saying is, oh, we don't want you to have a bulky headset you have to carry around. Oh, this makes it portable because you always have your smart device on you too. Yeah, but if I also have my Switch on me, it's fine. It's not a problem. Once again, it looked like we had a reformed Nintendo with them saying online play, and then there's like paid service that you can only party chat with a smart device. What the hell? So that's kind of a general rundown of what the Switch is and some of the features they announced at the conference, the Switch press conference, and a little bit that have come out afterwards. Really a mixed bag of things going on here. And could they fix it? Could they put in party chat on the system itself? Maybe. Who knows? We really haven't seen much of the design architecture yet. But part of the design architecture we have seen is the controllers. Now, since the Wii launched back in the mid-2000s, Nintendo has been all about gimmicky controllers. If you see here, the Wii U has a giant touchpad in the middle, and it's this big, bulky gamepad thing. It has a terrible battery life. It's awful. Anyway, and then the Wiimotes that started the whole thing back on the Wii, they were all motion control-y, and it got old quick. So, what does Nintendo decide to do? Do the exact same thing. This time they're called JoyCon controllers, which is a ridiculous name. And you can take them and you can pop them and click them into the side of the screen, and when you pull out the Switch, so you have what looks like a Wii U gamepad. You can also, when you have the Switch docked, you can take them off the Switch and put them on a Joy-Con grip, which connects the two and makes it look like more normal controller, or you can just free use them, whatever. So there's that. The Joy-Con grip, there is a chargeable version that charges your Joy-Cons while you play. However, that is not coming in the box. It's going to be $30 sold separately, which is a bunch of bullshit. Sorry, Nintendo. Hey, come on, get with it. Anyway, so there's those Joy-Con controllers, which are the new gimmicky controllers. There's this thing called HD Rumble that they talked about at this conference, and nobody knows why we care about it. They did something to do with ice cubes, and you can tell how many ice cubes are in a glass if you're shaking the Joy-Con controller like a glass, and it's just... Why? What? Who cares? Anyway. There's also the Pro Controller, which is similar to the Wii U Pro Controller. It looks almost the exact same. If you don't like the Joy-Cons, if you find them too small and irritating, whatever, that's fine. But the thing about the Joy-Cons that they have over the Pro Controller is this whole portability aspect. So if you're on the go, and say you're in a car, say you're in a road trip with some friends, you're going to, let's go to Colorado, let's go skiing. You got one guy driving, one guy in the front seat, he's sleeping. And you and a friend are in the back seat, you got your Switch with you. Pull out your Switch, take off the two Joy-Cons, hand one to a friend, you are now playing local split-screen multiplayer on one Switch. Games like Mario Kart, stuff like that. So you can just play. There's two controllers automatically right there, which is nice and great for portability and for playing locally, which is nice because we haven't seen many games on the Xbox or PlayStation 4 that really promote local co-play. So for Nintendo to do that is actually a really smart move on their part, and one of the smarter moves for the Switch. Now, that being said, the Joy-Cons, they're cool. What if you lose one? What if one breaks? That's where this gets shitty. A Joy-Con by itself, a left or right, will be $50 in the US. For half a controller, essentially. Or one controller if you're playing local player. $50. For a set of left and right, $80. That is far and beyond any normal standard for controllers. It's absolutely ridiculous. The Pro Controller is going to set you back $70. Also baffling. There's no reason these should be this high. I mentioned the Joy-Con charging grip earlier. Once again, that's going to be $30. The dock itself that the Switch docks in on your TV, Switch comes with one. So let's say, oh hey, I wanna have multiple in the house. I wanna have one in my living room, one in my bedroom. Can I buy another dock? Yeah, you can, which is great because with the Wii U, you couldn't buy another gamepad. You had one. They never sold them individually. So with the Switch, you're gonna be able to buy another dock for $90, which is a third of the cost of the console. Once again, what the hell, Nintendo? That is outrageous. I understand maybe $70. Maybe $80, but you're charging that for your controllers. Why? What is happening here? What is happening? Hopefully they'll drop in price pretty soon, or hopefully they'll adjust the prices. Who knows? But absolutely ridiculous on the pricing for these accessories. All right, so we've talked about all the features of the Switch, the controllers, the cartridges, and all that, all the portability, the 6-inch screen, stuff like that. So let's move on to games, which is arguably the most important part of a game console. So what games can we expect to see at launch on the Switch? 6. You can see 6 games at launch on the Switch. So we have 6 games at launch. 6. To put that in perspective, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One launched with about mid-20s, so 24 to 27-ish games, each available on launch day. So the Switch is launching with around a fourth of that, which is absolutely insane. The worst part of this is only 2 games are true Switch exclusives. But you might be saying, if you know the games already, hold on, wait, Andrew, that's not right. They're all Switch exclusives, or most of them are. Not technically. First one being deceptively Switch exclusive is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yes, it is coming out on the Switch. Yes, it is a Nintendo game and is only coming out on Nintendo consoles. But on the same day, it's also coming out on the Wii U, so therefore not Switch exclusive. The second game, 1-2 Switch, which is like this weird multiplayer game, kind of like Wii Sports on the Wii, but it's not packaged in, is a Switch exclusive. It is only available on the Switch. It makes use of the JoyCon controllers, kind of teaches you how to play, which begs the question, why is this not bundled in? This should be bundled in. Playing Cowboys is only going to be so fun. It's not going to be worth, a full price game. This should have been bundled in. Absolutely ridiculous that it's not. Just Dance 2017, one of the most obvious examples of not being a Switch exclusive. This comes out on pretty much everything at this point. It's Just Dance. Ubisoft just pops it out. Super Bomberman R. Bomberman is making a comeback, which is great and exciting news. And once again, one of the few Switch exclusives, one of 2. So Bomberman's coming back. It's going to feature, you can sit around, you can play with 8 people on Switch. You all connect wirelessly and locally, so you can play with 8 people. It looks like a lot of fun. There's gonna be story mode and multiplayer mode. I love Bomberman. I'm pumped for him to come back. But yeah, one of the Switch exclusives. Skylanders Imaginators. Skylanders has been around for fucking ever and has all the way back on the Xbox 360 and hell, even the 3DS had a Skylanders port. So really nothing new here. Definitely not a Switch exclusive. And the last game, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Now, this is weird for 2 reasons. One, first of all, not a Switch exclusive. It's come out recently and it's come out on a bunch of different systems. The other weird thing is this is a very obviously mature game and really marks a departure for Nintendo, who wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole during the Wii and Wii U era. Wii U did get Binding of Isaac, but it's really the start of the changing of times, and for this to be a launch title is absolutely crazy. Now, there are other games that were announced at the Switch conference. Unfortunately, they're not going to be out until later this year. Arguably the biggest game to come out of the conference was Super Mario Odyssey, which is Nintendo's new Mario game, obviously, where they're moving away from the 3D land sort of gameplay, and they're moving back towards Sunshine and 64, where there's an overall hub world, and it looks promising. Having Mario next to real people in New York is a little jarring, but the rest of the environments look great. The new hat feature looks really cool and like a lot of fun to play with. The hat is now a new character, which is fun. Bowser looks ridiculous as usual. So I don't know. It's coming out holiday 2017 though. That's too damn late. One of the other ones, Splatoon 2. We're getting a full-blown Splatoon sequel, but it looks like more of the same. And it's coming out during the summer, a few months after the Switch launches. The Switch, as of release, does not have a really good competitive online game. Splatoon could have done that for them. It could have really pushed the demoing of the online services while it was still free, worth it. But they dropped the ball. There's no excuse. They dropped the ball. And then we're getting Skyrim, which we saw in the original Switch launch or reveal trailer back in October. It's not coming out till the fall. So, God damn it, everyone has played Skyrim at this point. It's been out on everything. It's almost as bad as Minecraft. So really, okay, it's coming out on the Switch. It's portable. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. Then we're getting some sports games from EA. Okay. But those really the major ones. Square Enix is making a RPG, but they're not coming out on launch. It's within the launch year, and that's without any sort of delays. So what's pushing this console? And what's pushing this console is simply Nintendo nostalgia. Speaking of nostalgia, there's no confirmation on the Virtual Console. We haven't heard. There's rumors of the GameCube games coming to the Virtual Console. There's no confirmation of that yet, which is absolutely insane. We're around a month out from launch, getting really close. So we need to know about this. There's a starting lack of communication when it comes to Nintendo's conference. Now, the good news about the backwards compatibility and Virtual Console stuff is Nintendo, in their infinite wisdom, has finally figured out what everyone else figured out years ago, and that's how to link games you've purchased to your account rather than the console. So if you break a Switch, if you buy a new Switch, you'll now easily be able to download the games again to your new console because it is linked to your account rather than the old console itself. So that's good. That's good news. Nintendo figured it out. Once again, way too late, but they're making progress, so props to them for that. Now, if this all looked great to you, if you really think the Switch looks awesome, if you're really excited, that's great. The pre-orders are up now, but the problem is pre-orders are all out. Nintendo said there was going to be a supply problem, and there certainly is. There are hardly... you can't buy it. It's gone. Amazon's gone, Walmart's gone, Best Buy's gone, it's all gone. Yeah, you can't get it anywhere. And you're not going to be able to for a while until well after launch. So definitely, I guess just sign up for email alerts or something. Check the internet every day. I don't know. If you want to Switch really bad, do that. But you know what? As much as I kind of bagged on the Switch during this whole episode, really, I'm optimistic. I hope Nintendo can figure this out. Breath of the Wild looks amazing. And I'm not a Zelda fan at all, so I can't wait to watch Jessica play that for 80 million hours. And I really hope they can nail this. I went into this conference really excited because of this original Switch review, and it looked like we had a new Nintendo, and it looks like we don't have a new Nintendo, a new thought process, but hopefully it works out in the end, and the Switch ends up being way more of a success than this right here. So, only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching this episode of What's Up With. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube. Go check us out on Facebook. Give us a like over there. Follow me and the rest of the group on Twitter. And we'll see you next time.